What's up, my comic comrades? Today, as promised, we're going to be closing out our Ghostbusters weekend with the conclusion of the TMNT Ghostbusters crossover miniseries with issues 3 and 4. If you didn't watch our episode on Friday covering issues 1 and 2, you can do that right here. But in summary, this series has the Turtles cross over to the Ghostbusters dimension, where they help the Ghostbusters fight the evil ghost god, Chi-Yu. But before we dive in, we also want to tell you guys this Black Friday, November 26th, Variant's parent company, Triune Films, is rolling out its annual Triune Digital Black Friday for Filmmakers event starting at midnight CST. And if you're into filmmaking, either professionally, as a fun passion, or somewhere in between, you don't want to miss this one. The past couple of years have been tough for everyone, and those in the film industry, especially independent filmmakers, are no exception. So this Black Friday, TriuneDigital.com is offering up to 80% off everything from amazing VFX assets and color grading LUTs to a wide range of incredible sound effects bundles, royalty-free music, and more, all to support the filmmaking community as much as possible. So you'll be able to pick up all existing digital products available at TriuneDigital.com for 80% off during the first hour of the sale, and then 65% off for the remainder of the day. But they're also dropping 14 new products, including a monster sound effects pack, a superhero LUTs pack, and this dope electric VFX asset bundle. And you'll be able to get 70% off those new products for the first hour of the sale, which is from 12 midnight CST to 1 a.m. CST. After that, new products will be 55% off for the rest of the day. So again, if you're a filmmaker or visual creator on any level, you don't want to miss the Black Friday for Filmmaker sale at TriuneDigital.com. Again, it's this coming Friday, November 26th, starting at midnight Central Standard Time. Just click the link in the description for complete details. But with that said, let's jump back into the Ghostbusters TMNT crossover with issues 3 and 4. The issue starts off with the Turtles in the Ghostbuster van while racing towards the garden, with Pete saying, "We all won't fit in the car." Mikey then says, "Man, I want one of these. We could get a full kitchen in here easy." Raphael then tells him, "You're getting almost as bad as Donnie. What are you guys gonna want next? A blimp?" Which, as us all TMNT fans know, is a nod to the Turtles toy blimp from the 80s, which actually just got a re-release from Playmates Toys recently. Anyway, Leo says, "Guys, focus. We're almost at the garden. Are they still there, Dr. Stantz?" He replies, "Oh yeah, I got a definite hot reading. There's something messy going on there." Donnie then holds up his Neutrono wand saying, "So let's clean it up." He then runs inside yelling, "All right, Chi-Yu, put your hands," whoa, as he sees Chi-Yu with his newly possessed hockey team. Chi-Yu then says, "Your mutants found us, Casey Jones. My thralls, subdue them." Donnie then blasts him with his proton pack but misses, hitting the Jumbotron. But then Peter comes in saying, "Don't sweat it. Egon's got more property damage to his credit than most standing armies. Just plant your feet, go soft on the trigger, and be gentle about directing the blast." It's more like a violent hose than a gun, so Donnie tries again along with Ray and Egon joining the party, as Ray says, "Like Pete said, Don, be gentle. Just aim for the glow, and don't worry, we have a plan. Oh yeah, be careful not to cross the streams. Protonic reversal isn't on my list of things to do today," giving us that iconic Ghostbusters line. Anyway, as the Turtles and the Ghostbusters continue to fight Chi-Yu, Winston eventually shows up, activating his ghost trap, trying to suck him in. But it doesn't really work, with Ray saying, "That's weird. He should have been sucked into that trap right away. There's no way he could fight it unless he's more directly connected to the thralls than we thought." Donnie then says, "I think you're right," as we see he's connected to his thralls with tethers. Possessed Casey Jones then jumps on Winston saying, "They're right. Listen, I'm fighting with all I've got, but it's not enough. You've got to tell the others what I could see in Chi-Yu's mind. You can't do anything to him until we're all taken out." At which point Chi-Yu uses Casey Jones to knock Winston out and turn off the ghost trap, allowing Chi-Yu and his thralls to get away, but not before he says, "When next you see me, you'll regret it." To which Venkman says, "Why do they always say that? Is there like a class or something?" Back at the firehouse, Raph is like, "You guys let them get away. If that's how you bust ghosts, I don't know how you guys even stay in business." Egon corrects him saying, "Practice." Egon continues to say, "Look, Chi-Yu's connection to his thralls is atypical. Chasing them down when we have no practical way to sever the bond was not in anybody's best interests. And we still have the problem of getting you back to your dimension." Kylie then suggests an idea to Egon that they used a while back on different ghosts. But he says that probably won't work. It was a different set of circumstances. We can do more harm to the victims than good. Donnie then speaks up saying, "What about your proton streams? Chi-Yu said in the church that they hurt him. If we hit his minions with a low voltage pulse instead of a stream, would that work?" Ray then says, "Hey, it could interrupt the connection. Change the rhythm." Egon then says, while eating pizza, "At close proximity, like a defibrillator. I think it could." Raphael then speaks up saying, "Is it at all creepy to you that these guys picked up on Donnie's points that fast?" Leo answers, "The focus must be incredible." Venkman then says, "Focus. Yeah, that's what they're known for." After this, Donnie, Ray, and Egon get to work on building that contraption that will unlink Chi-Yu's thralls. Meanwhile, in Chinatown, Chi-Yu gets pissed at Casey saying, "You've been fighting my control from the beginning." He replies, "Maybe you and my dad should form a support group then, because I'm not gonna stop fighting fighting until I'm all the way free. Chi-Yu then throws him, saying, "You are infuriating. You're doing this on purpose." Casey then says, "Finally figured it out, huh? That brain of yours goes both ways. I know how stupid you get when you're angry, so I aim to make you good and stupid." Chi-Yu then says, "And you will regret it," as we see him eat Casey. Meanwhile, back at the firehouse, Janine tells Peter, "I know you didn't want to take a case while we had company, but it seems that this is relevant." He looks at her note saying, "Yeah, it does. Hey Egon, did you work some magic? We got a date in Chinatown." Egon then comes down the stairs saying, "We modified these packs for the purpose using Donatello's suggestions. Touching one of Chi-Yu's minions in the chest with one of these hand attachments should sever their direct connection to him." So they all get in the Ecto-1 and head to Chinatown, where they start fighting Chi-Yu for the third time. We see that the prototype packs Egon made work, but still not enough to defeat Chi. Chi-Yu then spits out some black goo, and we see it form into an even more evil warrior possessed Casey Jones, commanding him to destroy the turtles. And as Casey fights Raph, Peter goes to Plan B and grabs a huge proton cannon, shooting Chi-Yu. This allows Raphael to touch Casey in the chest, severing his link to Chi-Yu. Leo then asks, "You blew him up? Why on earth would you not lead with that?" He responds, "Because with ghosts, it's only a temporary fix. Our pal Chi-Yu is going to pull himself back together eventually, and when he does, he's going to be very cranky. So let's get out of here and see about getting you kids home. We could deal with the rest of this mess with the full crew later." Back at the firehouse, Casey Jones finally wakes up and says to Raphael, "Hey Raph, about kicking your butt. I knew what I was doing, but I still couldn't stop. I just wanted to say I'm sorry." He replies, "I'm happy you're okay, but if you think you kicked my butt, then maybe that ghost scrambled your brain more than I thought." We then see the Ghostbusters and the Turtles continue to regroup and think of a new plan while eating pizza yet again because Ninja Turtles. Elsewhere back in Chinatown, we see that Chi-Yu has pulled himself back together, telling his Thralls, "We must hunt them, destroy them. Tonight, my Thralls, we go to war." And with that brings us to the fourth and final issue. Issue 4 opens up with Egon and Donatello working on the interspatial teleportation unit to get the turtles back home. And they're doing this while simultaneously April, Ray, and Kylie continue to work on a device to free Chi-Yu's Thralls from his control. And as for the less tech-savvy, they're waiting patiently as we see Mikey try on a Ghostbusters flight suit. But soon after this, an alarm goes off, specifically a proximity alarm that goes off whenever something very nasty gets too close to the firehouse. They all soon figure out that it goes off because Chi-Yu and his Thralls are attacking the firehouse. Winston then says, "Those modified packs are downstairs. Can you and your boys get them and get geared up?" He responds, "Check. And Kylie, the thing you and April are working on with Dr. Stantz, we needed it 10 minutes ago." She says, "We're on it," as we see the Thralls kick down the doors to the firehouse, but Janine has her own wrist gauntlet proton pack that she uses on the Thralls to hold them back and buy time. At this point, we see the Turtles geared up, with Mikey even wearing a Ghostbusters flight suit as they start trying to touch the Thralls in the chest with their modified packs to sever their link to Chi-Yu. Meanwhile, Ray, April, and Kylie are just about finished with their device that will sever Chi-Yu's link to the Thralls. But wouldn't you know it, Chi-Yu shows up before they could bring it to the rest of the gang. He proceeds to levitate them all in the air with his power, saying, "I could turn you all, make you my own, but you don't deserve that honor." At which point Casey Jones wakes up and walks out of his room and turns on the device they've been working on. And once he does, we see it works and it severs the connection to the Thralls as they turn back into normal humans, confused of what they're doing and where they are. We then see Donnie and Egon making final adjustments on the teleportation device, but of course they're running into some problems which Egon has to figure out along with Donnie's help. Meanwhile, even though Chi-Yu is no longer connected to his Thralls, he's still giving the Ghostbusters and the Turtles one heck of a time. But Peter and Winston are able to blast them with their proton packs, at which point Leo throws a ghost trap between their heads and turns it on to capture Chi-Yu. But Chi-Yu just grabs the proton stream to pull Winston towards him. We are then taken back to Egon and Donnie, where we see things aren't going so well as circuits are blowing up and they're having to reroute a bunch of circuits to make sure that the Ecto containment unit doesn't explode, creating a crater in the Tribeca area, as well as making sure it could still power the teleportation device. The comic then brings us back to Chi-Yu, where we see he's now possessed Winston and turns into his full bull form, converting his proton pack's Neutrono wand into a proton battle axe. The Turtles and Ghostbusters then proceed to battle Chi-Yu for the next several pages, with Ray throwing pink concentrated slime or mood slime from Ghostbusters 2 on him, hoping to give him some good vibes. Mikey then later asks, "What was that goo Ray spritzed? Didn't look like the ghost wanted to touch it." Peter replies, "That was mood slime, concentrated good vibes. We use it to counter the negative energy of a direct possession." Mikey replies, "Sounds like exactly what we need, dude. Is there any more?" Peter says, "Yeah. I got a tank in the back of the car. Do you think you could sneak down there without being seen?" But Mikey is a ninja, so he does it before Peter could even finish his thought. As she continues to throw the rest of the Turtles around, Mikey shows back up saying, "Dude, made you look," as he blasts him with mood slime, wearing the same tank from Ghostbusters 2, which is kind of awesome. This releases Winston from Chi-Yu's possession, at which point Venkman says, "Well, there's my cue," and throws out a ghost trap to capture Chi-Yu once and for all. Mikey then says, "Woohoo, we did it," and Venkman replies, "Yup, you did good. If you guys don't manage to make it back to your own New York, I think we could find a place for you here. The whole masks and ninja thing, we can merchandise the hell out of that. Kids would love it, which is obviously super meta because yes, kids do love it as well as adults like me. Mikey then asks, speaking of going home, I wonder if Donnie and Egon finally got the teleportation device fixed. So Venkman walkie-talkies down to Egon, who tells him, yep, things are ready to go. The Ghostbusters then send the turtles back home, but not before saying, if you ever happen to find yourself in this neck of the dimensional woods again, be sure to stop by. And with that, the turtles are sent back to their lair, where Master Splinter says, my son, I didn't hear you come in. Very good, as they all have a group hug. Meanwhile, back in the Ghostbusters reality, Peter says, that's done. Who wants to dump this guy in the box? Winston says, nah man, Egon, punch up, I don't know, the edge of the universe or something. I don't want to see this thing anywhere near me. As he throws it through the teleportation portal. We then see it floating through space with a caption saying 4.2 light years from Earth, and Chi-Yu is trapped again. But this time is different. This time he could feel the presence of his family. Distant, but unmistakable. And he will find his way back to them eventually. He is immortal. He knows how to be patient. And with that, the series comes to an end. This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles / Ghostbuster crossover miniseries is just a ton of fun from start to finish, plain and simple. If you love the Ninja Turtles and or the Ghostbusters, you need to read this series for yourself. It's like going back to Saturday morning cartoons in comic book form, but like I always say, you guys need to read the story for yourself. There's a lot of Easter eggs and story nuances you're only gonna get by reading it yourself. But also, when reading it yourself, you support the creators who make these stories and are the only reason we have them. Anyway, let us know what you think of this series down in the comments. And that's gonna bring today's episode of Van to a close, but if you like this video, be sure to check out this one right here, and if you like all of our content, subscribe, like, and comment. It always helps the channel out. But other than that, I'll see you all next time when I talk about all things comics.